Hey everybody, this is Brajesh here. My dear friends, in my earlier video, I discussed about the principal questions examined and decided by Honorable Supreme Court and whether Section 194C of the Act does not apply in the case of Sri Chaudhary Transport Company versus Income Tax Officer. The link for that video is given here. You may watch this video by clicking the above link. Now, I shall be discussing with you whether disallowance under Section 40A of the Act is confined or limited to the amount payable and not to the amount already paid, and whether the decision of the Supreme Court in Palam Gas Service versus CID reported in 2017 394 ITR 300 requires reconsideration. In this case, that is civil appeal number 7865/2009 in the case of Sri Chaudhary Transport Company versus ITO, decided on 29 July 2020 by Honorable Supreme Court on the issue of deduction of TDS on payment to transporters and related disallowance of expenses. Keep watching this video till end in order to understand the various important aspects of TDS on transport contract under the Income Tax Act. Section 40A provides for the consequences of default in the case where tax is deductible at source on any interest, commission, brokerage or fee, but had not been so deducted or had not been paid after deduction during the previous year or in the subsequent year before expiry of the prescribed time, in the manner that the amount of such interest, commission, brokerage or fee shall not be deducted in computing the income chargeable under the profit and gains of the business or profession. In other words, it shall be computed as income of the assessee because of his default in not deducting the tax at source. The object of the legislature in introduction of the provision like subclause 40A had been to ensure strict and punctual compliance of the requirement of deducting tax at source and ensuring compliance of the requirement of TDS. The court observed, it is also noteworthy that in the proviso added to Section 40A of the Act, it was provided that where, in respect of the sum referable to TDS requirement, tax has been deducted in any subsequent year or has been deducted during the previous year, but paid in any subsequent year after the expiry of the time prescribed in Section 201, such sum shall be allowed as a deduction in computing the income of the previous year in which such tax has been paid. The purpose and coverage of this provision, as also the protection therein, have been tersely explained by Supreme Court in the case of Calcutta Export Company. Court observed, as per observation of the Honorable Supreme Court, in Calcutta Export Company case, as regards Section 40A of the Act, the purpose is very much clear from the above referred explanation by the memorandum that it came with a purpose to ensure tax compliance. The fact that the intention of the legislature was not to punish the assessee is further reflected from the bare reading of the provisions of Section 40A of that Income Tax Act. It only results in shifting of the year in which the expenditure can be claimed as deduction. In a case where the tax deducted at source was duly deposited with the government within the prescribed time, the said amount can be claimed as a deduction from the income in the previous year in which the TDS was deducted. However, when the amount deducted in the form of TDS was deposited with the government after the expiry of the period allowed for such deposit, then the deductions can be claimed for such deposited TDS amount only in the previous year in which such payment was made to the government. Taking up the question as to whether disallowed under section 40IA of the Act is confined to the amount payable and not to the amount already paid, the court observed, we find that these aspects of interpretation do not require much dilation in view of the ratio of the decision of Supreme Court in the case of Palam Gas Service. In fact, the decision in Palam Gas Service is a direct answer to all the contentions urged on behalf of the assessee in the present case the court held. In that case, Supreme Court approved the views of the Punjab and Haryana High Court in the case of PMS Diesels versus CIT reported in 2015 374 ITR 562 as regards mandatory nature of the provisions relating to the liability to deduct tax at source. The Punjab and Haryana High Court in PMS Diesels versus CIT has held that these provisions to be mandatory in nature. Having said that deducting tax at source is obligatory, Supreme Court proceeded to deal with the issue as to whether the word payable in section 40IA would cover only those cases where the amount is payable and not where it has actually been paid. Supreme Court took note of the exhaustive interpretation of various aspects related with this issue by the Punjab and Haryana High Court in the case of PMS Diesel's case, as also by the Calcutta High Court in the case of CIT Kolkata 11 versus Crescent Export Syndicate reported in 2013 216 Taxman 258, and while approving the same, Supreme Court held as regard implications and connotations of the expression payable used in this provision that when the entire scheme of the obligation to deduct the tax at source and paying it over to the central government is read holistically, it cannot be held that the word payable occurring in section 40IA refers to only those cases where the amount is yet to be paid and does not cover the cases where the amount is actually paid. Very important principle laid down by the Honorable Supreme. If the provision is interpreted in the manner suggested by the assessee herein, then even when it is found that a person like the assessee has violated the provisions of section 194C and 200 in the instant case, he would still go scot-free without suffering the consequences of such monetary default in spite of the specific provisions laying down these consequences, the court observed. In the case of PMS Diesels, the Punjab and Haryana High Court had extensively dealt with myriad features of section 40IA of the Act, including the term payable used therein as also the proviso thereto, and expounded on the entire gamut of the provisions while making reference to the Finance Bill of 2004, introducing the provision and while also drawing support from the views expressed by Calcutta High Court in the case of Crescent Export Syndicate. Court held. As regards the interpretation of the term payable, it was observed in PMS Diesels that section 40IA applies not merely to SSEs following the mercantile system, but also to the SSEs following the cash system. If this view is correct, and indeed we must proceed on the footing that it is, court held, which is very important, goes a long way in indicating the fallacy in the SSE's main contention, namely, if the payments have already been made by the SSE to the contracting party, the provisions of section 40IA would not be attracted even if the tax is not deducted and or paid over to the government account. Section 40IA refers to the nature of the default and the consequences of the default. The default is a failure to deduct the tax at source under chapter 17B, or after deduction the failure to pay over the same to the government account. Term payable only indicates the type or nature of the payments by the assessee to the persons referred to in section 40IA. such as contractor. There may be payment to persons referred to in Chapter 17B which do not attract the provisions of Chapter 17B. The consequences under Section 40IA would only operate on account of failure to deduct tax where the tax is liable to be deducted under the provisions of the Act and in particular Chapter 17B thereof, the court held. It is in that sense that the term payable has been used. The term payable is descriptive of the payments which attract the liability to deduct tax at source. It does not categorize default on the basis of when the payments are made to the payees of such amounts which attract the liability to deduct tax at source. Court held. We find the above extracted observations and reasoning which have already been approved by the Supreme Court in Palam Gas Service to be precisely in accord with the scheme and purpose of Section 40IA of the Act and are in complete answer to the contentions urged by the learned counsel for the SSC. It is ex facie evident that the term payable has been used in Section 40IA of the Act only to indicate the type or nature of the payments by the assessees to the payees referred therein. In other words, the expression payable is descriptive of the payments which attract the liability for deducting tax at source, and it has not been used in the provision in question to specify any particular class of default on the basis as to whether payment has been made or not, the court held. The semantical suggestion by the learned counsel for the assessee that the expression payable to be read in contradistinction to the expression paid sense merit and could only be rejected. In a nutshell, while respectfully following Palam Gas Service, we could only iterate our approval to the interpretation by the Punjab and Haryana High Court in PMS Diesel's case. The court held. Faced with the position that declaration of law in Palam Gas Service practically covers this matter, learned counsel for the assessee has endeavored to submit that the decision in Palam Gas Service requires reconsideration for the reason that certain aspects of law have not been considered therein and correct principles of interpretation have not been applied. We are unable to find substance in any of these contentions. The decision of the coordinate bench in Palam Gas Service on the core question of law is equally binding on this bench and could be doubted only if the view as taken is shown to be not in conformity with any binding decision of the larger bench or any statutory provision or any other reason of the like nature. We find none, the court held. A close look at the decision of PMS Diesel's case, which has totally been approved by this court in Palam Gas Service case, makes it clear that therein every aspect of the matter from a wide range of angles was examined by the Punjab and Haryana High Court while drawing support from the decisions of other high courts, particularly that of the Calcutta High Court in the case of Crescent Export Syndicate. We are in respectful agreement with the observation in Palam Gas Service that the enunciations in PMS Diesels had been of correct interpretation of the provisions contained in Section 40IA of the Act, the court held. The decision in Palam Gas Service covers the entire matter and the said decision, in our view, the court said, does not require any reconsideration, the court held. That being the position, the contention urged on behalf of the assessee that disallowance under Section 40IA does not relate to the amount already paid stands rejected, the court held. Another contention in regard to Section 40IA of the Act that its scope cannot be decided on the basis of Section 194C has only been noted to be rejected. The interplay of these provisions is not far to seek, where Section 40IA is not a standalone provision but provides one of those additional consequences as indicated in section 201 of the Act for default by a person in compliance of the requirements of the provisions contained in Part B of the Chapter 17 of the Act. The scheme of these provisions makes it clear that the default in compliance of the requirements of the provisions contained in Part B of Chapter 17 of the Act that carries section 194C, 200 and 201 leads inter alia to the consequences of section 40IA of the Act. Hence, the contours of the section 40IA of the Act could be aptly defined only with reference to the requirement of the provisions contained in Part B of Chapter 17 of the Act, including section 194C, 200 and 201. Putting it differently, when the obligation of section 194C of the Act is the foundation of the consequences provided by section 40IA of the Act, reference to the former is inevitable in interpretation of the latter. In view of the above reference to the definition of the term paid in section 43(2) of the Act is of no assistance to the assessee, court held. Similarly, the observation in the case of JK Synthetics case as regard the difference in connotation of the expression payable and paid in the context of the liability to pay interest on the tax payable under the Rajasthan Sale Tax Act 1954 has no correlation whatsoever to the present case, the court held. Further, when it is found that the process of interpretation of section 40AIA of the Act in PMS Diesel's case as approved by the Supreme Court in Palam Gas Service case had been with due application of the relevant principles, reference to the decision of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India on the general principle of interpretation does not advance the case of the assessee in any matter. Subclass IA having been inserted to clause A of section 40 of the Act with effect from 1st April 2005 by the Finance Act 2004 would apply only from the financial year 5-6 and hence cannot apply to the present case pertaining to the financial year 4-5 shall be discussed in my next video, the link of which is given here. Keep watching this channel for more videos of your interest shortly. Stay safe and healthy. Bye bye.